W control vowels beginning today. Today we're going to do we're going to learn what that A says, if it's before or after a W. So when we just had a bunch of R control vowel lessons. So if you're brand new, you came on a great day because we're going to start with W today. But in the last few classes, we've learned about R control vowels. R's control the vowel of the sound before it. So just as a quick review, ER, IR, UR, I'll say OR says or. Most of the time it can say at the end of multisyllable words. AR says R most of the time. So all of those vowels are before the R. Today you're going to learn about WA and AW. That A in both of those instances changes to a short O sound and says ah. Let me show you a bunch of examples of real words. So WA, wash, water, walk, wasp, wall. So all of those WA words, the A is saying ah. Now look at AW words. Saw, paw. If you could think of some, go ahead and put them in the Q&A. Words that have an AW in them. Law. I'm thinking of short words right now, but the examples, the length of the word doesn't matter. The pattern is the same. A says ah if there's a W on either side of it. A says ah if there's a W on either side of it. So that's what you're going to say. That's what you're going to see in our lesson today. All right, here we are. Let me blow this up so it's nice and easy to mark on, and then let's start practicing our new. Aren't you glad you came today? Because now you know. Who knew? Who knew that A has so many sounds? A can say A, it can say ah, it can say ah, it can say and it can say ah. It's nasal sound. 5 sounds. Most people think that A might say 2 sounds. But now you know that it also says it makes a schwa sound. We learned that in A month. And it also says ah in quite a few instances, actually. If the next letter is an L, if the next letter is a W, there's a W right before it. Yeah. All right, so let me get sharing again. A is crazy. All right, so let's annotate. This A is going to say ah, is normal sound because of the 2 consonants that come after it. A will say its normal sound if there are 2 consonants after it, if one of those consonants isn't a W or an L. Same with this one. Oh, wait, look, it almost got me. It almost got me, you guys. If I make a mistake during this lesson, and it didn't take me very long to already make a mistake, you must correct me, please. Who is perfect? Certainly not me. I'm just going to pull up my Q&A right here so I can see if you guys are going to correct me. Valentine, it's so nice to have you here. All right, so I almost said that A said ah because I was looking at the next 2 letters, but I am learning right along with you that when A follows a W, it says ah, makes the short O sound. So now when we mark each sound, we have k, ah, t, w, ah, p. Catwomp, catwomp, catwomp. Valentine, your comment made me smile. She says, today is my 2nd day and I love it here. That makes me so happy. Love having you here. All right, so go ahead and try yours over here. I'll be quiet while you work. Pay no attention to my poor writing. I write bad enough. If you're in my spelling class, you can see my poor handwriting. But when I have to write with a mouse, it's even worse. So thank you for your patience. All right, so this O is going to say ah because the next 2 letters are consonants. This A is going to say ah because it follows a W. So we have 2 different spellings for the ah sound here, but you don't have to wonder why. You don't have to wonder what's going on there. Those letters can make perfect sense. This O is the most common spelling for the ah sound. You're going to see it for ah in most cases. However, if you hear ah after a W, you're going to notice that it's spelled with an A. Same sound, two different spellings, but you know why. So when we blend those sounds together, we have pot wasp, pot wasp, pot wasp. Oh. So I have a couple more comments. Lily says, Valentine is one of my cousin's middle names. And then Addison says, I was having a hard time spelling and reading, but now it is easy to do it. Bam! Bam! Ah, thank you for saying that. I was having a hard time spelling and reading, but now it is easy. It's not only achievable or accessible, but she said it is easy. Addison, how long have you been in the class? I'm just curious, so that other people might know how long it might take them before it becomes easy. I might have lost her. I'm just curious though. Addison, if you want to put how long you've been in the class, I'd be curious to know. Okay, let's go to number 2. So this G is going to make its hard sound, its normal sound. A is going to say ah because of the tap 2 rule. However, this A is not going to say ah. It's going to make the short O sound and say ah because of that W that comes before it. So both of these we've had WA, wah and wah. This A also says ah, just for your information, because there's an L after it. So this A says ah for 2 reasons. W before it, L after it. L also makes A say ah. So we have G, A, S, T, W, A, O, slow. Gast wall. Gast wall. Gast wall. Whoa, I just got Addison's answer. Are you guys ready for this? How long do you think she's been in the class? So her comment before was, I was having a hard time spelling and reading, but now it is easy to do it. And so I said, easy? Well, how long does it take before this is actually easy? Her answer, 4 weeks. Not 4 years, not 4 months, 4 weeks. Amazing. That's beautiful. All right. Number 2 for you. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet while you work over here. Be careful of this L right here. Make sure that you pronounce it and don't let it slip out of there. It's not going to be the easiest sound to pronounce. You have to really go ahead and stretch your mouth and make it, wrap your mouth around the full width of the sound. Stretch it, open your mouth wide, make your tongue do whatever it has to do, nice and big and wide and round sounds, so that all of the sounds come out correct. So this A is going to say ah, normal, because of the 2 consonants after it. This A also has 2 consonants after it. However, we know from being in this class that this A is not going to say ah. It's not going to say its tap 2 sound because of 2 reasons. But the one that we're working on today is that it comes after a W. That's going to force it to say its ah sound. The second reason is it comes before an L. So our sounds are k, ul, ah, t, w, ah, ul. Drop your jaw on this ah. Ah. So we have clat wall. You really have to work your mouth and stretch its shape to get all of those sounds pronounced correctly. Clat wall. Clat wall. It's not easy, not an easy word to say. Addison, you're getting lots of congratulations in the Q&A, in the chat. Not everybody finds it easy after 4 weeks. Some have been in here for at least a couple years, but it is getting easier. It's getting easier. Everybody progresses at their own rate, right? But every time you come, it gets a little bit easier. All right, so here we had a WA, wah. Here we had a WA, wah. Here we have an AW, ah, ah. Now the thing about AW is you don't really hear the W when you have AW. It just says ah. You don't really hear that. Just like in the word, sorry guys, I'm writing like I'm a first grader. Just like in the word saw, you don't really hear the W, do you? It's not saw. Some people pronounce it, some people pronounce it as Saul, but there's no L in it, like I saw something. And it's not saw, it's just saw with your jaw dropped. So AW just says ah. That A is making the ah sound. Let me pull my annotation back up. All right, here we go. So this AW says ah. I'm going to go ahead and cross this out since it's only making one sound here. This I is going to say I because of the tap 2 rule, and it's in the middle syllable. That's something that we learned in I month. And then Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. Sounds S, Ah, T, I, M, P, E. One sound at a time. Saw, saw, sought, sauter, sautery, saw trim, saw trimp, saw trimpy, saw trimpy. Get that M. Saw trimpy. Go ahead and try yours over here, number 3, on your own. Don't let an M come in here. Sometimes an M will want to sneak into your word without permission before a P because your lips close to form a P. And when your lips close, sometimes your brain sneaks in an M there because that's the shape of your mouth when you make an M. So you have to consciously control that space between the I and the P. Make sure that an M is not pronounced. Go straight from the I to the P. All right, this R is probably going to be the hardest letter to read in this word. Make sure you grab that sound. So this AW is going to say ah. This I says I because of the tap 2 rule. Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. So we have B, ba, boss, bost, boster, bostere, boss trip, boss strippy, boss strippy. Did you get boss strippy? Let me know in the Q&A. Y, yes, or A, almost. A letter snuck in between the W and the S. Oh. The letter L did. Ball. Ball. So somebody was saying, Blair was saying that an L came in right here, but I love that you knew that. You knew it. You were in control of those L's, N's, and R's that are so sneaky. They get in, they get out, they get mixed around. And you can see that for yourself now. It's proof. I'm not making that up. L's, R's, and N's get in or out of our word without us noticing a lot of times. But the fact that you noticed it is brilliant. You controlled that letter without it controlling you. Did you get boss trippy? Yes, almost. Yes, almost. My brain keeps trying to put an R by the B. Oh, burr, burr, burr. That's common too. That's why we do that sound work at the very beginning of the class, because that R's, L's, and N's, my friend. Those are the doozies. Those are the culprits of most of our reading struggles. So we're controlling them before they control us. But I love that you knew that. Oh, that's so good that you were in control of that sound. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's do number 4. So here we have an AR that we learned 2 classes ago. So if you weren't here, AR says R, R like art and car. This this E, I mean, is going to say because of the tab 2 rule, and A we are learning says ah. You don't even hear the W, it's just ah. That A is a W controlled vowel. So our sounds are p, ah, s, n, t, ah. Parcenta, parcenta. My line got a little ahead of me there, but when you are connecting the sounds, connecting the dots, try to make sure that your line, your voice, and your eyes are all in a line. That makes it a multisensory experience and puts it 3 times deeper into those nerve pathways if you can keep that connection all lined up. Your eyes, your mouth in saying it, and your hand in doing it just strengthens those nerve pathways and makes it that much easier to retain and say correctly. All right, so go ahead and try yours over here. Here we have that R again. Oh, good, Valentine. AR says R, R. ER, IR, and UR say but AR says R. How would you break this word into syllables? Let's figure it out. That's a good question. Let's figure it out. We haven't done that in a while. We're going to have a whole class in August on syllable division. You're going to love it. All right, let me do this first. So we have vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, 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 vowel. These are the most common right here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to learn more when we have this lesson, but these are the most common. When you have 1 consonant between the vowels, you're going to split it right there. You have 2 consonants between the vowels, you're going to split it right there. When you have 3 consonants between the vowels, you're going to split it right there. So let's figure this out. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Here is 1 split. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Here is another split. So we have 3 syllables split correctly. It's important to split syllables correctly for reasons that I'll explain when we have that class. But this is how you can make that word into 3 smaller parts. So now we have s, a, sar. This E says so we have t, tem. Putting those 2 syllables together, we have sartem. Now we have p, a, pa, sartempa, sartempa. Did you get sartempa without me? Let me know in the chat. How'd you do? Yes or almost? Y or A? Wow, lots of A, lots of Y's. Oh my goodness, my mind just exploded. Why, Blair? You had another epiphany? I love your epiphanies. Lots of Y's. Wow, good job. Was it the vowel syllable division that exploded your brain? Now, you guys, Blair has been here for a hot minute. He has been here for at least 2 years. I asked you this recently, and I think it was like 2.5 years. And he just had another brain explosion. Oh, it was a syllable division. Yeah. So keep coming, keep coming. It's getting easier for Addison just after 4 weeks. For some of you, it might take 4 months. For some of you, it might take 4 years, but it's going to be 4 months from now anyway. At some point, it's going to be 4 years from now anyway. It might as well be that far away and you knowing how to spell. Regardless of how long it takes, it's going to be that date, that point in time, at some point in your life anyway. You might as well be at that point in time with spelling knowledge. So keep coming as long as it takes, my friends, okay? You're amazing. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.